Today we are in Artizan, public house, would you call it, in Linthorpe, and we are sat with Francis Hynes, co-owner, is that fair to say, with your brother?
Yeah, co-owner with brother.
Firstly, thank you for hosting us. I know you've come down and opened up for us today. It's a great location. I've spent many a lost evening in here, mainly on a Sunday. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very well, thanks.
Good. Just want to ask you about your business. Obviously, we do podcasts in various places, and we just want to try and promote local business rather than going into, your more mainstream sort of things. Because what we're about is pushing and promoting that. So, tell us about the Artizan, how it started, how it all went about.
Yep. Well, we acquired the building 2016. Me, my brother, my mum, and my little brother are the building owners. We took it on. It was quite a wreck. You'll probably know it was back in So then we've worked in it now for, however many years it is, from 16 to 24. We're always working with something. And we've built this from the ground up, pretty much, this one. So it was 3 shops.
So I understand it started with the bottom bit.
Yep.
Where we're sat now.
Yep.
And then I've just been up to the brilliant terrace at the top. Tell us about that during COVID.
Boredom in lockdown. When they let us out, me and my brother were straight in, tried to build it. We've got a couple of welder friends. They welded the staircase for us, and then and basically we were doing that well. We couldn't have the room downstairs for the amount of people that we were getting on a weekend, so we expanded, went upstairs.
And then second pub.
Marton, yeah. So Marton actually was before the terrace was built, and that was doing really well down. So we looked at that years ago when we first opened this one to expand, but we kind of decided against it. Mainly it was a jump, and we didn't want to jump at the time. Okay. So about a year later, we thought we'd make the move and go for it.
So it's a similar decor in the Marton one, isn't it? I've been in that. So tell us about the ethos of the Artizan and why you think it sort of stands out away from other pubs.
Yeah, Artizan, it means to create, build, and work with your hands. So everything we've built and had friends in with us that have helped lay the bricks with ourselves, build the doors, and we've just gone for, it's creative.
Yeah,
we've gone into some sort of creativity.
Were these arches, these brick arches we sat underneath here, were these part of the original building?
No.
Stunning.
Build.
Absolutely fantastic. It is. There isn't a lot of places like this when you go in and look at the interior. Everything from the way the little table we've got our podcaster on at the moment is suspended by chains, I think, completely, isn't it?
Yeah, it's suspended by chains because it's so heavy. You've just got a bit of support.
Yeah, you have. Just in case. Well, I'll not move my knee too quickly then. But it's stunning. It really is. Very different looking venue.
So local business then.
Yep.
Seemingly doing well to the eyes of everybody, because I suppose when you open up a second sort of franchise, everyone thinks, oh, they must be flying. Yeah. I know we had a chat off mic around difficulties of business. So we did a podcast which is due for release in the next few weeks, at a jobs fair where we spoke to large corporate, we spoke to Nike, Hollywood Bowl, and the difficulties, but the positives as well of what they face. And it was mainly in and around staffing, retaining staff, young people going to university, letting you down a bit. So do you face them difficulties as well?
Yeah, 100%. You don't see many people at a young age want a career working behind a bar. Mm-hmm. So the staff turnover, you're getting students that want to come in, earn the money while they're learning, and then once they've learned, got a degree, go to uni, and off they go. So staff turnover is huge.
And is that in both? Or is
that in both, and I'm pretty sure it'll be most hospitality in the area, to be honest.
Is that top to bottom as well, like bar managers a lot?
No, bar managers we keep around. They like to stick around, but it's mainly the cocktail staff. And everyone always says we've got one lad who's been with us quite a while, but he's now up and off to Australia.
Right.
So he's making a jump.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's having that understanding, isn't it, of like, I suppose when you come into this business, you know that, like, you're not technically going to get someone at 17 in who's then going to stay with you till they're 30 and then become bar manager and things. So when you prepare, I'm always interested, when you're preparing a business like this, does that factor in, or do you just, when you started, or did you just run with it and then figure out that was the case?
No, we knew it would be big on staff turnover. We used to work in bars ourselves when we were younger. The Keys down Middlesbrough, townhouse. We used to work there, a pair of us. And then we knew, we used to see people come and go out ourselves. We moved on.
Yeah.
We've both got jobs elsewhere, so...
How many of those are like local work here then as well? It's quite
everyone's local.
Yeah.
Everyone's local, yeah.
Brilliant. That's what we like to hear, isn't it? And I think in another way, that's quite a good thing. My son's 17, nearly 18. He's working in the place which is recorded in Disborough, Cupfellas. And he's, I think it's great. He's going to be going to uni, but it gives him that income. It gives him that experience as well. It's like it's giving someone local a job that they need and definitely putting it back into the local economy as well, which is what we want to see. That's why we're so big on it, because we know it's about trying to build jobs, build the economy around here. And that means spending the money locally as well, getting the pockets of local people. Business owners.
Yeah. What I will say is we've had a couple of 16-year-olds come through because you can glass collect at that age. And watching them come in at 16, shy, scared, didn't want to pick up the glasses off tables for people. And then when they start integrating with the locals, the confidence and the way the personalities come out with them, and it is good to see that.
And there's a bit of a lack of that, isn't there, with young people these days? Whether it's, and I know that they always get a bad name, but they're not all sat at home gaming all the time and getting pasty-faced. Pasty... I can't even get my words out today. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like getting them out, getting that social confidence is important, right? Yeah. It's not, there isn't so many opportunities.
But that job fair showed that. At Teesside Park, they were expecting 400, I think. They got 14 or 1,500 through the door. They were queuing right round the back of Nike, and it was just... And we said a few times, didn't we, around, I always think young people get a bad press around here, and I think the minority make it worse for them. And I think having looked at, my lad going into work, your lad going into work, my nephew trying to get work. He texted me last night saying, do you know anyone who's hiring?
Absolutely.
And they want the money and they want the experience. And I just try and say now to young people, and you'll probably echo this, that I'm working with a lad at the minute who I work with. I'm doing a bit of a mentoring for him. And I said to him, if you were a postman, what skills would you have? And he was like, well, I don't really get that. And I was like, every single job that you do allows you to take that into a different workspace, whether it doesn't matter what you do. And bar work, I think, for young people is fantastic. Social skills, de-escalation skills, customer service skills, till handling, prioritising, everything that comes with it. People just think it's not, and it's not that, is it?
No, it's definitely everything you've just said. People skills, massive.
Yeah, and it allows you to go into...
I've seen it in Charlie. I've watched him grow since the 6 months since he's been doing this, and working with people, getting to chat to people as well. His confidence has grown massively, and it's he's having conversations, the type of conversations he's having, all kind of worldly stuff. So it's just broadened his horizons a bit. So it's an important thing. It is an important thing.
So because we are a mental strength podcast, not a pub podcast, although I think there's a spin-off somewhere along that.
Over here.
I hope you don't mind me asking, but we ask everybody. So what would you deem mental strength to be to you?
Mental strength would be the ability to overcome challenges. That's what I would say. People throw challenges, people get them every day. Yeah. And if there's a challenge in front of you and you can't get your mind round overcoming it, it can get on top of you.
We hear that a lot, don't we? And it's everyone always has a different spin or an angle to it. But as a business owner, I suppose, the challenges are every day. And if you couldn't cope with that, then I suppose that had a knock-on effect down onto your business.
Yeah.
It's not just turning up for work. You've got all sorts of challenges in terms of getting people in the door and seeing the cash flow, things that you'll have your peaks and troughs, I imagine. So that'll reflect probably in your own challenges, your own.
Going back to building, back in 2016, we got quotes for the roof upstairs. Didn't have the money for that. Never roofed, never built anything in our lives like that. Put it all together, and then we've done it ourselves.
Right.
Overcoming challenges.
Windows, exactly the same. You go to Middlesbrough Council, you get told, no, you can't have plastic. It's like, well, we can't afford the wood.
Yeah.
That's what you had to have.
So we had to do it ourselves, yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
And that's how we've managed to build everything from ourselves.
Okay, and it's still standing. Well done.
Still standing.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you've
it's out the wind, though. Yeah. It's out the wind.
We're on the third generation by now if I've done it.
So when we were talking just before as well about, you made a really, really good point. You come from a household of men.
Yeah.
Boys in particular, men. And you've seen a shift since you've had the bar around young people opening up a bit and facing their challenges more and being more open. Would you say that's fair?
100%. Yeah. Growing up, well, I'd say about 17 blokes in our family. Dad was a brother of 5, I'm a brother of 3. Granddad, a brother of 4.
Poor man.
All of us have had. All of them had boys. I was the first one to have a girl, pretty much. Cousins and that have got girls, but I was the first one out of our sort of bloodline to have a girl.
Popular.
Completely softened me up.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely growing up, it was more get on with it.
Yeah.
Get on with it. However you feel, get up, crack on. And then talking now about staff, just looking at a younger age, I wouldn't have said half the things that they come out with.
Do you think there's a lot to be said in that, though?
Yeah. I think just the way times are changing. I think the way
In terms of
times are changing.
We said about, man up and all this kind of stuff, and there's a balance to be had with everything, isn't there? But, like, sometimes you do need a nudge, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay, like, in other words, just fucking try. Like, basically have a go. If you fail, try again.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at what you've done here.
Yeah.
With your own hands, and and obviously the help, and you'd have brought in, no doubt, had mates who give you bits of advice here and there to do that. But that's another part of it, not being afraid to ask for advice when you need it. All this stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's really good.
It is really good.
But thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for hosting us, and we've got a really good interview coming up. So good luck with everything.
Yeah, thank you very much.
If you see me here on a Sunday and I'm wobbling around, just guide me out and I'll go home.
I'll be wobbling with you.
Direction. yeah. Head north.
Yeah.
Head north.
Right. Thanks.
All right.
Cheers.
Nice chatting to you. Cheers, bud.